special episode today, which is called Ghana Overseas. No other who is joining me today, young entrepreneur and business owner, Bridget. Bridget is all the way in Colorado. Are you hearing me, Bridget?
I can hear you, girl.
Perfect. You see, I didn't pronounce it. You see, I didn't say your last name because I didn't want to pronounce it. I respect your last name. So can you tell us, who is Bridget?
So Bridget is Ghanaian. I was born in Ghana and raised in the Bronx, New York. I came here when I was about almost 6. So between 5 and 6, I can't remember exactly, but yeah, I came to America. So immediately after coming, I hadn't seen my parents, I think, in years, because I was left with my aunt and my grandmother, my great aunt in Ghana. So that's who I knew. I was just like, and then I was told, oh, you're going to go see your mom and your dad. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Whoever these people are.
Oh, how many languages do you all speak in Ghana? Like official language?
Oh, there is a lot. There is, I think there's over 50 languages and dialects.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much language do you speak?
African languages or just in general?
Well, okay. How much African language do you speak?
So I only speak Tree, which is like my native tongue. But from Tree, like my tribe, we have we call it Buno, which is like a variation of Tree, so I can understand that because it's pretty much the same, just the accent and the way things are pronounced will be different. So yeah, African language is how I technically speak.
Wow.
And then I can understand that sound similar to my native tongue. You turn a corner and you're just like, oh, okay, this is the idea of Africa I have. You turn another corner and you're like, wait, am I in Europe? Am I in America? Where am I? So at the end of the day, Africa is diverse. We have the rich parts, we have the poor parts. It's completely different. Yes, so this picture I think was taken about 3-4 years ago. And I went back to my hometown to just, visit. It was my grandmother's in the wheelchair, and then my great aunts are on my right hand side. And going back home, there's a different feeling. So I was born in a place called Brikum. It's about a 6-hour drive from the capital of Ghana, which is Accra. When I first landed in Ghana, I felt like, oh, I can breathe. And when I actually went to my hometown, it was just like, you get this feeling like, I'm home.
Yeah.
So one of like my home names, everyone calls me Mommy. She just grabs me and she goes, Mommy, is that you that's gotten so big? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And I'm just like, who is this stranger? I probably hadn't seen her, and she hadn't seen me since I was maybe 3 years old. But she recognized me.
Wow, yeah.
I guess my features haven't changed since I was a baby.
Or is it an African thing?
I don't know, because when I was in the capital, people thought I was Caribbean. They thought I was Jamaican or Nigerian. And then when I would speak Tree, they'll be like, oh, the foreigner that speaks our language. And I was born here. The common culture in Ghana is like, if you are going to someone's house to visit, there's this whole ritual where there's someone who will speak for you, and it's usually like, oh, what are you doing here? It sounds rude, but it's just like our custom where it's like, what are you doing here? Where are you coming from? Who's your family? Like, we're always trying to make connections with each other. And if you can go into someone's house, you're expected, like, they will give you a full meal, they'll give you water. You can stay there and never leave. The guy is technically not supposed to propose to the girl. He's supposed to speak to like the eldest male in the girl's family. Get approval. Get approval, and then with that approval, they'll give you a list of things you need to get. So this includes like alcohol, It like in the past there'll be like before technology and people move to the cities, it might include some livestock, so it might be like 2 goats, my daughter is worth this much cases of alcohol, this many sheep, this many cows, this many goats. You have to bring cloth, because within our culture the fabric is very important also. So like especially the kente cloth, so they might say you have to bring some kente cloth, and it's literally they'll give you a list.
Wow.
And
Wow.
yeah, so the traditional marriage is when you come in with your family members and they present the gift, the list. It's kind of like you're purchasing your bride in a way. Yeah.
Wow.
So went to where I'm pretty much the only black person there, and people will stare at you.
For real?
I've had someone lick my face once. It happens.
So, wait, what do you mean they lick your face? What?
I don't know if they thought my skin was chocolate and they wanted to see if it tastes like chocolate. I don't know, but it happened.
And they lick your face.
And literally licked my face. Yeah. When I travel, I don't really get the cultural shock, just because I'm always so excited to be somewhere new that I spend like forever just doing my research, learning about the people, the culture. So I go in there and I'm kind of those people that is like, I'm ready to take this test. Like it's like a cultural test for me.
Wow.
But
wow.
when I come back to America, I get reverse cultural shock, where because I've been so immersed in the culture of the place that I was in, I come to America and I'm completely lost. I'm completely confused. I don't understand why things are the way they are. So I never really get culture shock when I leave. It's more of the reverse when I get back.
How has that been for you as a young woman being here working?
You're constantly working.
Wow.
So in New York, I worked. If I wasn't working, I was in school or I was commuting to work or school or something. But it was just constantly you're on the move. And then being here and taking care of a small business, that's literally a 24/7 job.
Wow.
There is no break time. Like, remember when you first called me and asked me about this, and I was just like, oh, I'm not sure because I'm supposed to be traveling.
Yeah.
The whole time I was away, I think I was away for almost 2 weeks, I was working 24/7.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I'm not working, I'm sleeping, and unfortunately my sleep will get interrupted by phone calls relating to
and a message from me too.
You have to also learn to carve out little time, just even if it's 5 minutes in your day, an hour. Like for me, I say that on Sundays I try not to do anything related to the business, just because you have to have that one day where you can go and just breathe.
How, especially the business part, how that journey has been for you?
Okay, so apparently I look very young. So
you are young.
Most people know who my mom is because I also look like the spitting image of her, but they assume I am like a kid. So I think doing business here is a little, with customers directly, is a little frustrating for me, just because, one, I'm a woman, I look extremely young. So the assumption is most people assume, I can just talk to her any way they want, and I should be able to get my way because this is a young child. Normally I'm a very I'll smile and but I've learned within my community that when you smile at a customer, especially those of the opposite gender, they see it as you're being suggestive. It's not, you come into the store and I say good morning and they are, oh, can I get your number? What?
That you are sharing the Ghanaian culture with people. How has that been for you?
It's like ups and downs. So we do get, especially due to COVID, we have been getting, I don't want to use the word press, but there's been a lot of organizations that have been approaching us to support Black-owned businesses, and we're the store, our social media has been featured on the city's social media, here. business. You guys should check out, here are some of their products. So you get a lot of people coming in
Mm-hmm.
just to walk around and look, which for me, there's like no issue with that. On occasion, they'll pick up something, they'll ask random questions. So to me, it's like, oh, that's one little way of sharing my culture with someone, because they come in because they're curious. They want to know what we're selling. They want to inquire. I remember there was a lady who did a whole bunch of research after she saw a post that was like, I posted on Instagram, that was also reposted by like the city's page, and was just this meal on your page, and I looked up, I googled a recipe for it. I just need to pick up the ingredients. And for me, it's like, oh wow, okay, you're coming in here because you genuinely want to try something. You're curious, but you're taking it like a step further. Like you actually really want to learn about this culture. You actually really want to try it. So I spent about like 30 minutes with her, just walking her around the store, explaining the different products we have, giving her like shortcuts to like making the meal she wanted to make. And she was just so appreciative. And I was just like, oh, well, after you make it, next time stop by, let me know how it went. And this meal on your page, and I've looked up, I googled a recipe for it. I just need to pick up the ingredients. And for me, it's like, oh wow, okay, you're coming in here because you genuinely want to try something. You're curious, but you're taking it like a step further. Like you actually really want to learn about this culture. You actually really want to try it. So I spent about like 30 minutes with her, just walking her around the store, explaining the different products we have, giving her like shortcuts to like making the meal she wanted to make. And she was just so appreciative. And I was just like, oh, well, after you make it, next time stop by, let me know how it went. And just like, I will say, definitely do your research. Do as much research as possible. Talk to people who are actually overseas. I'm sure there are Facebook groups. You have friends, you have families, you have people you know that know someone who knows someone. Just like you said, you went to the wedding. You went by 3 degrees of separation, but you still made it there. No matter where you're migrating to, just also realize that it's not going to be easy. The roads are not made out of gold. You're not getting money from trees when you need it. You will have to work hard, be motivated, be focused, and come with an intention. So don't just come with, oh, I'm going to come to America and then buy a big house and then, life is going to be great. How are you going to buy that big house? Are you coming for school? Like, come with some sort of actual attainable dream and have a guideline. Like, you have to talk to people. And the best thing about talking to people is also people who are experienced, who've been through this process. They know shortcuts, so they know certain things that you might not know that will make your journey here a lot easier.